Okay, so we are live and we have a guest with us today. This is Mel,
Hello.
aka the Queen of Pen to Print, who made my manuscript legible.
Oh, thank you for having me and congratulations on the launch and the book.
No worries. Look, very low key tonight. I haven't even got the green screen running, guys. This is Renee at her finest. But yeah, just sort of had to do something to celebrate the launch. So yeah, so
Absolutely.
we'll give people a chance to get the little YouTube notifications and just have a little chat whilst people turn up. Those of you watching it on the playback, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the mess that is my life. I am fairly certain there will be a toddler visiting at some point. And
Maybe a
there will
cat
be
or
a
two.
baby screaming in her sleep at another point.
Don't forget the cats.
Oh yeah, Arwen's got her bed set up, but I think she is snacking, and I think JJ's on the bed with Mark. So it doesn't end. It doesn't
Is,
end.
is that a whiskey I detect?
No, I'm too poor to afford whiskey at the moment.
I just went straight to Nina there.
Normally it is whiskey. There is a reason why my sprints on Wednesday are called Whiskey Wednesday sprints.
Love it.
Because after 3 days of work, I need a whiskey.
Amen.
But we did kick off a little bit early tonight, and we're probably not going to run for very long. We have work tomorrow. We had daylight savings change today, so my brain is thinking it's that we leapt forward. So I should be having trouble going to sleep. But no, for some reason I feel like it's already 10 o'clock. Maybe it's the toddler.
Probably. They have a completely different time zone to everyone else.
They do. Anyway, we're here not to talk about annoying little brats, but to talk about this book. And this book. Just ignore that. I literally, before we jumped on here today, I just ordered my author copy. I'm only getting one copy for photos and things, and this book. This book. And this book that is not actually available yet because KDP sucks.
Love it.
Grabbed a version of every copy. I grabbed a copy of every version, so if anyone has any questions about what's in them, I can show. Because I am all about on this channel. Okay, Mel hasn't been with us before, so for your information, Mel, I will take any questions about book process, how I found uploading to the different stuff, anything. There's very few things I will not spoil. And it's mainly for some stuff that's actually in Vendetta, which you do know about. But yeah, there's certain things that happen in Vendetta that are not discussed because that is the spoiler content. That's the only thing I will not spoil. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Mel. Mel is my editor.
Hello everyone. Yes, so I had the pleasure of editing Renee's book Descent, and it's
pain.
Sorry.
I would have said pain.
No, not at all. I run my own little editing business called Pen to Print, located here in Australia, and it is more aimed at new writers, emerging writers. So offer manuscript assessments, editing, proofing. So cater, more to those that are starting out in writing. So whether that be fiction, non-fiction, family history, anything like that. I've been working in publishing for about...
I know bad to admit it, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking 10 years or so. Been editing quite a
We never
while.
see us into the stream. Okay, Mel Shah. Mel.
Hello.
Hello.
Mel
Nice
is just
to meet
telling us
you.
about her business Pen to Print, which is obviously the editing company I have used. So continue.
No, it's just so that's pretty much what I offer with my business, and obviously established authors are welcome as well to contact me, but I do love helping out new authors, especially if it's for their new novels, that sort of thing. But like I said, it doesn't matter if it's fiction, non-fiction, family history, poetry, anything like that. Everyone's welcome.
So do you have some examples of your work other than this one?
Well,
Sorry,
I actually will next week. I recently finished off a job. It was for the the Italian Golf Association. They just celebrated their 50th anniversary. So together we made a commemorative book celebrating the club and the history of the club, where it's at now. So that's exciting. So that's at the printer. So that's due to arrive Wednesday, I believe.
awesome.
Yes, yeah. But on my website, I do have examples of other books that are available to purchase. That's the other thing that I offer for my authors as well, is I do link your books to my website. So if anyone wants to go check it out, go have a read. I think it's very important that we look after each other in this community and help wherever possible. Yeah.
What's the bet it's a toddler interruption?
That's what I was just thinking.
There was another interaction. Come on, Bobby. What's wrong? Little wiggle. Oh, now he's so embarrassed he doesn't want to look at the screen.
Hey, Marky Moo.
Why, Mark?
You should be asleep. Why aren't you
Daylight
asleep?
saving,
Mm-hmm.
probably.
The sister's out completely. Also made herself
Yeah.
naked again. Let's not. The kid is so weird. She just strips herself. Okay. You want to stay up for the wall? Yeah, okay. You can stay with Mummy for a bit. Okay. So so we've got that coming out next week. So is it going to be for general sales, or more for just the club itself to
It's more for just the club. So for its members, current and past members, for the families of members who have passed away. So yeah, it's more a tribute to the club and where it's come in those 50 years. It was fantastic to work on. Really enjoyed it. And I knew nothing about golf. Probably still don't know much about golf, but I really enjoyed working on
there's
that.
usually grass and a ball
Yes.
involved. That's pretty much my limit when it comes to golf.
Yes, that's right. That's all I think too.
Oh, someone's got the green screen running.
I've got a pizza ball.
You got a pizza ball. Yeah. Can you please stop playing with Mummy, please? I'm going to be distracted now. Sorry. So,
I just realized while I was playing it, it's the same color as a green screen. I was like, "Ooh, I bet I can do something with this."
well, last time we had Charlotte with the pizza top at one point.
Yeah, I've got a green shirt that I just sort of put as a pizza shirt.
I love that.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, damn. I should have the Descent cover back. I mean, technically, this is part of the Descent cover.
Yeah, it is almost. Yeah, I tried to have a green screen going before, but my laptop's just not taking it. Oh, it was not happy. I can't even open OBS at the moment. Mark, please. If you can't settle, you go to your room. And Mummy shuts the door. Yeah. Hello, Sage.
turn the green
Yes.
screen off because the Wi-Fi where I'm staying is not the fastest. If last night is anything to go by. I should speed test again today, actually. But yesterday I speed tested and it was 0.3 of a megabit per second download speed. And I was like, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
But it seemed fine today, so.
So yeah, so any questions about the book, any questions about the editing process, I'm sure Mel will be very happy to answer all the dirty little secrets and the very bad spelling of Renee.
How many did you ever try and convince her to get rid of any of the fucks? And if so, how many were you successful in removing?
Well, actually,
Alternatively, did you add any?
I actually did add a couple.
So I took a few out, and she went, "No, you need it back here."
That's right. It just felt weird having a paragraph of dialogue where there wasn't a single F in there from Nina. It's got to go back to authentication there of character, Renee.
Yeah. Okay, so we also have to give a little bit of background here. Mel isn't just my editor; she's also one of my workshop crew. So she has seen Nina from the start. I think the only thing you haven't seen was the original screenplay, although I think I brought it in once just for shits and giggles.
That's right.
That's giggles and shits, one of the two. So Mel is very well versed in Nina-isms.
I am. But it's actually interesting though that question, Shah, about removing of all the fucks, because in Renee's very, very original manuscript from years and years ago, I think there was probably 4 or 5 times more in there. And it was to the point where, and this is
unreadable.
Yeah, and this is one of the good things too, though, about workshopping. And if anyone is part of a workshop group, then they'd understand this too. Once you've got that story away from yourself and it's in the hands of someone else, you start to hear it a lot differently, and that's where you can then see what's working, what's not working. They're kind of like your beta readers in a way. They're the first people.
I actually equate workshop to beta reading. I think, it's a mix of beta reading and
beta,
CP.
alpha, critique.
Yeah, because
they're all terms for basically the same server.
Yeah, but you can also toss it back as well. Like I think we've gone through the first, the original Descent book story was completely different to what's been published. And I think we got to the end of workshopping it and it was just like, this doesn't work. And everyone was just saying, this is not working. And I completely rewrote it from the ground up. Mark, come on. You either settle here with Mummy or you go to bed. What do you want? 1. You know Mummy gets a 5. You go to bed. What do you want? I think you need to poop. Do you need a poo-poo? Then why won't you settle? Sorry, this is welcome to Renee's channel where she is very open about these things. Mark, go to bed, or come sit with me. One of the two. Sorry, I don't like him behind me like that.
There's too many things that can fall over.
Well, there's too much Lego behind the green screen, hence the reason why the green screen is up. Yeah, so also too, though, one of the things,
exhibition at Melbourne Museum at the moment, not to derail the conversation at all, but Mum mentioned something about it.
Sorry, I missed that.
Was at Melbourne Museum, you'd probably know, is there a Lego exhibit on at the moment?
No, Brickvention's tickets went on sale this weekend, which will be mid-January. Are they back at the REB? I think they're back at the REB this year.
I don't know.
Which is right next to the museum.
Mum mentioned something.
Unless the Brickman, Ryan might be doing something. The Brickman, he usually pops up with a display or two. But it's probably the Brickvention tickets went on sale this weekend, and they didn't proofread the ticketing sales paperwork.
Oh,
it says 2019 on it.
As long as they don't make the same level gaff that Melbourne International Coffee Expo did, where their industry tickets promo code was just coffee and you could get a $150 ticket for free just by putting the word coffee in the promo tag
Ouch.
and pretending you're a business.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
I don't think they've done it since like subsequent years, but we went. It was hilarious. We were pretending that we were starting up a cafe and trying everyone's fancy beans.
I need to steal that.
It was great. It was great. We just made up, like, with my friend's last name. Because it was me, my friend who was my housemate, and her brother. And so we just like made up that we were starting a cafe called Barker Coffee or something. And the three of us were all just like roaming around. But ironically, she doesn't even drink coffee. And so we get free samples of like these they're like probably 2 shots worth of volume, and it would be like a strong coffee shot, sort of like latte cappuccino style thing. We'd both get samples of it. I'd be drinking mine. She'd take one sip, decide she didn't like it, and then hand it to me. So I just ended up having like 10 coffees over the day.
You would have been buzzing.
Oh, I was like peak anxiety, because then it coincided with like getting an email about something that I fucked up at uni where I left a class that I wasn't supposed to or something. So then I spent the rest of the afternoon just being like, ah! But yeah, it was fun in the first stage of it.
Sounds like there's a story there. I think.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I just need to actually sit down and finish writing all the ones for ideas that I've got.
Yeah. That's it. I think we've all got that pile of unfinished manuscripts. I know I do. Even me.
Oh, I've got piles.
Let's see.
Hello, Stig. I hope you're doing well. You have a Stig. Yeah, release stream day. Yeah, we can't say release day because it did come out on the 27th. So she's asking, although this version's still not available.
Is that the international one?
This is the US hardback edition that's exclusive to KDP. And I think I figured it out. This had 3.3 millimeter bleed. This one went through and was approved. This one had 3.2 millimeter bleed, and it keeps getting rejected. I have fixed it. It is processing at the moment. We shall see if that is the problem.
God,
0.1 of a mil, people. 0.1 of a mil, and it's been a week.
Oh, no.
Okay, so that is actually a good thing to discuss, the frustrations of actually getting this shit set up. It should be there, Stig. On my Amazon page. Okay, are you looking at Renee Ann House or R.A. House? Because R.A. House is the sci-fi with the dots. R.A. space House is the sci-fis. Renee Ann House is Where is Baba? Which I do not have a copy of just at the moment, but I do have one of the exclusive magnets that you get. And I have the original.
Nice.
I'll try and find the link. Oh yeah, I just put it in Google and it came up straight away. And so I can link it in the chat. Wait, hang on. Oh. Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one. Oh, did I put the old stuff in the links? I probably have. I haven't updated my links. I haven't updated my links down below yet because I'm waiting for everything to go live, including the audiobook. And then I'm doing a specific page on my website that's going to have all the links for everywhere that I know of. Although I just found out that it's available at like water something in the UK. And I'm like, oh, okay. And Barnes and Noble, it's listed on. So it's going to be an trying to find all the listings.
Well, the top listing on Google links to one that can't be delivered to Australia and is $45 Australian for the paperback. But that's because it's like
that would be a
not
conversion.
the Amazon one, it's through like a different seller or something.
Yeah. And this is actually the interesting
And
thing
it
I'm
says
finding
other
out
sellers.
is because
26.
some sellers, even though they're in other countries, seem to pull the US edition and then convert it. If you look at Dimmicks and Dimmicks and Angus and Robinson, which are the two Australian ones, the Dimmicks looks a lot more expensive than Angus and Robinson, and I think it's because Angus and Robinson is pulling the Australian edition, the Australian pricing list, and I think Dimmicks is pulling the US listing and then converting it. It's really interesting. It's been an interesting thing to see, and just see who is getting what version of the book too. Because I've set this to wide. KDP gives you an option to click on expanded distribution, and I have. So I'm going to be very interested to see where this one turns up, because I don't really tell you where they push it to. So, although I think they push it to Ingram Sparks' catalogue from memory, which would be rather amusing. Mark, come on, settle.
What the fuck? Ships from Book Depository UK. Oh, fuck them. Yeah, it's like, why is it? It won't let me like go to the listing of the one that's on Amazon.
Yeah,
which is really weird. Like, you pull it up in the sidebar and let me add it to cart, but it won't actually change to the other page.
Audio book. I'm also in the process of trialing the Google automated voice as well. So I'm going to have the audiobook that's live on Audible and through Findaway. So pretty much Nook, everyone's got it, is me narrating it when I was trying not to cough every 5 seconds. That was an interesting experience. I'm going to have to re-record it. I really am. When I'm doing Vendetta. Waterstones. Yeah, they've got it, because my auntie-in-law, David's auntie, she's over in the UK. She goes, "Oh, I'm going to go to Waterstones and order it." And I looked it up and went, "Oh, it is there."
I think you're right, Renee. I think what it's doing is pulling the US edition and converting it.
I think so, because the different prices are very interesting. And the $44 one, I think, is the large print one.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just linking to the author profile, because then people can find the best one for their region.
The red one with the spaceship is on sale for $4.99.
That's that'll be the ebook.
The ebook is $4.99, and I set it to $4.99 in every region. $16.99 is the paperback. We have a Shay. Hello, honey. I hope you're well.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, I actually think, Sage, I actually think I heard them say that the KDP extended distribution pushes it to Ingram Sparks' catalogue, but even if you are an independent publisher, it's marked as printed by Amazon, which is why most people won't touch it. Yeah. So it's that's what I've heard. Yeah. So you can set it for extended. That's what I've heard. So that's why I'm doing the two versions, because I'm kind of experimenting a little bit and seeing where things go. This one has sold. This one I haven't sold a single copy of. Bear in mind, I've been plugging this one because I could pre-sale this one. This one I couldn't do anything but pre-sale on the ebook, and then Amazon decided to reject my ad because there's swearing on in the title, apparently.
Yeah, isn't it in the blurb that they?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just that one little one right there. But I kind of figure if you read that and it doesn't turn you off, you're not going to be disappointed by the book because, let's face it, when Nina walks on the page, there's a lot of fucks.
Absolutely.
Nina's not even the main character.
The metal effect cutout one, that's the US edition, isn't it?
No, this is the international edition, the Australian one. So
okay, cool.
This is
I was
US
getting them mixed up because I was like, it's weird that it's showing that as the default one. I thought the other one would be the default, but I'm getting the covers the wrong way around.
Don't worry,
so
I've had my moments.
If you go direct through your author page and go down to editions and paperback, then it comes through the default one that it goes to is the $22 paperback.
Yeah.
But like when I searched through Google, it linked me to one through like fucking, what was it? Stig said before, because I was slagging them off, Book Depository. Because they've got the free shipping or something.
Yeah, Book Depository is actually Book Depository was one of the first ones to catalogue it.
Yeah, they're great for some books, but others the price is just like double. Like Emmy's book on there was ridiculously expensive. It was like $50-something, I think. And that's, I don't know, maybe it's just ones that they can't bulk order, that they have to like print on demand.
Well, see, that's the thing though, is print on demand is it's funny, you set a price, but it doesn't stop them charging more. So
what I find interesting, I don't know if Book Depository UK is the same as the one here in Australia, but I do know from other authors that if their books are selling quite well on Book Depository in Australia, they will put them on sale automatically. Which I thought was really interesting. Because that was something that I learned from another author who had self-published as well.
I did KDP and Indian Spark separate for Silk Flower Goodbye, but couldn't be bothered to do them separately for the Heart Whispers. I haven't seen any difference. Yeah, see, I also too though, Sage, I specifically wanted to have a US edition because I know a good portion of my market is going to be US. So I thought that by having an edition that had US spelling conventions in it would be a smart idea, because I have seen in the past 1-star reviews for other books, not my books, but it's bound to happen eventually. Mark, can you please 1-star reviews because there's spelling errors, and it's like, they keep dropping the U, they keep putting using things, and you're like, okay, the world doesn't revolve around US spelling, guys. So I also thought it would be a good experiment to try the two. But it was not exactly a great data set. Stig, the one with the red spaceship isn't on sale in paperback, only Kindle. I only got it to go live last night, Stig, so it might be taking a while to come through the system.
I just noticed the same thing as well. So,
it's live on the US, but I don't think it's live on the Australian Amazon yet.
It's not.
Yeah. Well, see, also too, I'll tell you a little secret about this one and the hardcover. So the paperback and the hardcover with the signal on it both have this written on them. Can you read that? First year international editions. In a year's time, I'm taking that out. It's my version of first editions for first printing. Only these two have it. All the other ones don't have it. So if you want a first year edition, you want that copy. Well, I'm trying to figure out, I was sitting there thinking to myself is, traditional publishers get a first edition. And down the track over the years, first editions become very collectible. So what is with the print on demand? There's no such thing as a first edition.
That's
No,
right.
unless
Yeah.
you then just,
A first
manually change
edition with all the you know, fuck ups and that I've done a formatting and everything, guys. You know, so in a year's time when I fix it, it'll be a collector's item. Yeah, but Book Depository is Amazon. Yes, yeah, they bought them out a couple of years back. I did know that. I'm actually very interested to see if the US edition turns up on Book Depository as well.
You're going to have to report all your findings back here too, because anyone else who's looking at self-publishing with hard copies, it'll be good for them to know too what works, what's not working. Give people an idea on what they can do with their books going forward. Yeah.
I agree. But the problem is people do it because they don't understand that there are more different ways to actually spell words. It happens.
People be stupid.
It's completely different because it's poetry, not fiction. Yeah. It's and there was no real need for me to do it either. But I just thought it would be an interesting experiment. And who knows, I might not do this version in the next one because I haven't sold a copy yet.
Well, you and I were talking about that this week.
I like this cover.
Well, it might be because it's not available yet.
Yeah, no, well, even the ebook hasn't sold.
Fair.
Yeah, but you know, but this one I thought would be the more traditional sci-fi cover anyway. So you know, it's got the space and it's got the ship. You know, when this is sort of like, I don't know, collector edition of Dunes. You know how they sort of kept the Dunes, you know, very simple and things. So I honestly thought this would be the cover that everyone went for. But
well, that's like the pulpy science fiction sort of vibe cover. So I guess it's like gives you an idea of who's buying the book is the people who want something the more clean cut modern.
Yeah. What I love about this cover is now that it's set up, all I do is change the name and the symbol for every book. They're all going to look the same, guys. But I'm still shitty about this. I mean,
people who like having a set that all looks the same are going to be very happy with that.
See how it's see that? See how
it's dropped.
But my paper, my file that I submitted to Ingram Spark, it is perfectly in the middle. So there's nothing I can do about it.
Is that just the Ingram Spark version?
It's happened with all those two, just the two paperbacks. The cover's perfect. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like on my on the paper on my submitted file. It looks like they're all centered, like they all look in exactly the same spot. But for some reason, these two printed khaki.
That's
like
very strange.
But I think I showed you, Shah, the copy I got of Light from Uncommon Stars, a tour book, and it's got like
it had
3 to 4 mil that it's off, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not just indie publishers, people.
No. And you never know whether it's like for like the tour one or for your one the same, whether it's a consistent issue or a one-off print issue.
But also too, though, it's also potentially they're getting printed at the same place too. Because a lot of like the print on demand people do the bulk prints as well. They do both services.
So it could be a matter of the files are all correct, but there's something wacky with someone's put the settings on the machine slightly out of whack, and they've just printed 2,000 books of various things with a wonky cover, a wonky spine, and instead of pulping them, they've just been like, "Fuck it, who cares?"
Look, to be honest, it's really not that big a deal.
They probably don't get paid enough to care.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't see it as a big deal. It's just the spine.
Well, other than that, are you happy with the quality of how the books have come out?
Yeah, I am actually.
Yeah.
This one costs a little bit more because I actually went for the duplex printing.
Ah, yep. Yeah, that
So,
was great.
and I've got on the back, it's got the scar. It's got, you can't really see it very well, but it's got the Jolly Roger in there as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
And where is it? So the map came out really good.
yep. Nice.
Mark, have you pooed? You sure? Was that a very good fart? You guys need smell-o-vision, you really do. So they've come out really
You
well.
would not
Yeah.
believe how closely that paralleled an exact word-for-word conversation my brother had with his kid
Great.
last night.
Oh no, I think I might have to go and check a nappy actually.
Toddler came in and he's saying this word that's somewhere between show and come. It's like shum. So it's like he wants to come and see something. And Gil's like, "Oh, what do you want me to come and see?" And he
This
just
one
repeats the word. And Gil's
this is the
like,
bit I'm really proud of.
Oh,
That
that
is
came out
good.
great.
that came out really good.
Yeah.
So when you buy the physical books, there and the ebooks too, you get an unedited first chapter of Vendetta.
Mm.
Nice.
And the
that's
thing
risky
that I love about this too, Renee, is that if someone was to walk into a bookshop and see that, they would assume that that was from a traditional publisher.
Mm.
that
Like
was my aim.
just looking at it and picking it up and flicking through.
Mm.
And I think that shows too how far self-publishing has come
Oh, it does.
as well.
When we started, when Mel and I started
Mm.
talking about publishing, the
Mm.
only option we had was an ebook on KDP.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or
And that wasn't that long ago either.
alternatively, it was paying for a printer to print 10,000 copies and having them sitting in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so this is huge. Like, this is a big difference.
It
I
is.
must admit, what I did is I went and grabbed one of my favorite novellas, This Is How You Lose the Time War, and I literally sat there and I deconstructed what they had done in the book. You know, whether it was layout, the copyrights, what they had written there. The one thing I did add though was I did add in the reconciliation because I just thought that was appropriate.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just went through like a trad pub book. I went through a couple, but I pretty much used I had This Is How You Lose the Time War sitting here as a reference. I think we might have even been reading it at the time, Shah, for book club. So I was using
it was early last year.
Yeah. So I was using it as a template for what do I actually need to put in, and because that was my aim. I wanted if you go into a bookstore, and because obviously too, I have a business name specifically so it doesn't say self-published by the author, because then it has like a, you know, and you're not tricking the.
It's just that you own
They're buying a book, but you.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, I have to check that nappy, guys.
Yeah. Arthur came in last night and he's like, come see. And Gil's like, what am I seeing? He's like, no, just come see. And Gil's like, have you got a shitty nappy? And Arthur's like, no. And Gil's like, okay. He's like, can I check? No. It's like, all right, what am I coming to see? He's like, just like, come see. Gil checks the nappy and he's like, Jesus Christ, that was not a fart.
Big bada boom. Big bada boom. I shall return.
But it was just it's like it was so much funnier as well, because he's like at that age where no and yes are still sort of like words, so he'll say it with complete conviction when it's the absolute opposite of what happens. He's like, no, absolutely do not. No, you don't need to check.
Oh, that's hilarious.
There we go.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear. Here we go. What do we got? 10,000 copies. What did the Penguin Random House and Simon & Schuster antitrust trial. So again, 50% of its clients sell less than 12 copies. Yeah, and the rest get pulped.
Yep.
So technically, Renee has already beat 50% of the clients of Random House and Simon & Schuster.
Yep. Good on her.
So, way to shoot to the top 50% of the market.
Yep. I just love how much it's progressed with what you can do now.
Yeah. There's so much fun design stuff. Oh, man.
And also, too, it's just so much harder now to get through with a traditional publisher, especially if you're a new writer, if you don't have a literary agent as well. There's just all these obstacles that come up now. So it's so good in what's really a short amount of time, how far things have come with self-publishing. And as the author, you get that power back that normally you would be giving up if it was to a traditional publisher. So yeah, it's
be able to publish them and make anything back or cover the costs without
that's
the
right.
freedom of print and demand.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
it's good where it's got it's got its pros and its cons, but I think people being able to not just write the book that they want to write, but to have it look the way they want it to look as well. It's
have creative control. Yeah,
that's right, because it's your book, baby, at the end of the day. And for you to have that, we all know so many writers where they didn't get that option, where if they were lucky, they might have gotten a choice of a couple of cover designs. But if they didn't like them, at the end, it wasn't their call to make. It was the people that. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
So, yeah. But I'm very excited for Renee. It's been a long time coming, this book. So.
Oh yeah. It's always so nice.
Yeah. And it was interesting too what she was saying before about the early days with workshopping, how she decided that it wasn't working. That wasn't necessarily true. There were a lot of elements within that original manuscript that did work. And that kind of gave her the building blocks for the rewrite. So, which was good, especially
it's like a full oh god, I can't remember the word. I had it and then I tried to say it and it disappeared, and is now playing silverfish with my thoughts trying to catch the word. Not even really a developmental edit. It's like before that. It's like where you sort of like vomit out story blocks and then you see what's there and you pick out the pieces out of the story.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Stage.
Yeah, it's that stream of consciousness where you just need to get it out, out of here and onto paper or computer or wherever, and then you've got a place to start then from there.
Did you find Baba, Steve? I found Baba too. Now, off to bed. Come on. Yes, we have to have a costume change.
Oh dear.
I was just saying, Renee, how in those early days with workshopping, how you were saying that you decided that, that it wasn't working, that there were actual elements, though, in that first draft that did work, that you could then use to...
There's elements from the original concept that still exist in the work.
Yeah.
But the difference between what it was and what it is, it's I think maybe the name is the same. Okay. There are things that are the same, stuff like that. Like this Descent was originally, and it's always been, a bit of a character study on Eric about just how naive he actually was when he first joined the crew. Where I'm going to have fun with the next one where he starts realizing some of the stuff that happened in this book weren't quite what he thought. So, yes, no, I'm looking forward to that. But he does come off, like, he still does come off as a bit bland, I think, which is one of the problems I have with this. I just know I can't fix it. Maybe the 10-year anniversary, I'll give it a rewrite or something. But
10-year anniversary, you'll be publishing some other book that's going to be way better than this one and any of the other ones you've written before, and no one will really give a fuck.
yeah. Well, that's the
They'll
whole
be too
point. You've got to
busy
start
collecting
somewhere.
your entire, like, what do they call it for authors? I know it's filmography for actors and discography for musicians, and I can't remember what
Bibliography? No.
Catalogue?
Yeah, back catalogue.
Catalogue. Too many
I feel the
words.
same about my novel. I'm in the bad guys close in. I feel like I'm writing a completely different book from what I started out with. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm very glad I'm writing a completely different book to the one I started writing, because the one I started writing was absolute trash. Oh, man. I would not want to see that on KDP. It would barely even be acceptable on AO3.
I'm wondering if I've got the original version of Eric.
I might still have a printed copy floating around somewhere.
You probably do.
It's probably still got marks and notes written on it too.
we were joking the other night with our other workshop member how she can, like, her notes can be twice as long as the actual chapter. So you get it back, and because she's got a bit of an older system, so she doesn't actually use comments in Word. She actually, like, writes them in color codes them, writes them in the actual text. So you get your Word document back, and it's like 3 times the word count than what you submitted, and you're like, what the hell? That's quite funny.
We love some comprehensive notes. If only all the reviewers would do the same.
You know what? I do have it, but it's actually in my Screw file, and the way my system is, I don't want to risk trying to upload, trying to open my master Scrivener file, because that thing is chockers. But I do still have it somewhere. But bibliography. So I was right, Sage. I was right. This makes my brain cry when I think about all the works ahead of me and the rewrites. The rewrites are the fun part, Stig. They're the fun part. These people, I don't like editing. What are you talking about? That's when the book actually comes into its own.
Yeah, but Renee, to get to the point where we have the edits, we have to rewrite so much.
Also, MCs are supposed to be white toast. No. Mel, what's your favorite one? Hashtag job security for Eric?
Yeah, hashtag job security for Eric. Hashtag Eric deserves love. Hashtag it's his wishes for book 2. Yep.
Yeah.
I think you found some of the comments that I was putting in a bit amusing.
I did snortle a few times.
Yeah. And for people that have read it or are going through it, there were certain points where I'm like, oh, it got suddenly quite warm in my office. And then, I'm just going to go take a cold shower now, and then I'll come back and go back to, reading it as an editor. Yeah.
We love Kay. I love Kay. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I have got so many good things set up for her.
Oh, good.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to that.
Well, she does actually become a captain of her own ship, so because she's a captain of her own ship at the start of Vendetta, as you might remember. She's only in a scene for like 2 minutes, but okay, Steve. If you want it to be a hobby, you don't have to edit. If you want to be a professional published author, suck it up, sunshine.
But it can be a hobby to be a professionally published author.
Well, you know, the pay
That's
rates
the
are at a hobby
trouble.
level.
That's the conundrum.
I must admit, it's I question what traditionally published authors get off a book, because for all of its cost, no, this one has the smallest, the hard copy, the hardcover. This one has the smallest margin. The first one I sold of this was in negative 35 cents because I think I figured it out. Emmy was having this issue as well. I think Ingram Spark has a problem with calculating GST because the GST is not included when you're typing in your amounts. It's added on at the end. But obviously GST is based off the final price of 10 and 10%. Yeah. So I think the publisher's compensation gets a little bit screwy. So I had to go in and I've had to raise the price on this by about $4.
Yeah.
And I'm getting $1.50 back. If I sell a hardcover, I get $1.50.
Yeah.
I think.
Which is weird because, like, when you listen to writing expenses and shit, they talk about how the highest royalty is on hardcovers.
Yeah, right.
So there's something different in the system there.
Told not to play with Daddy's Legos.
Yeah, I mean, you often hear authors that go through traditional publishing, they might get $1.50 per book, because the author's usually the last one to get any money, and it's usually the lowest out of it. But yeah, it's interesting with what Renee's been experiencing as a self-published author, and yeah, the difference in profit margins and. I'd love for her to do a report either in a month's time or in 6 months' time to see if anything was changed between now and then for that. Too. Because there's nothing wrong with wanting to be compensated for the work you've put in either. You know, both as the writer, the designer, the layout, all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, same Stig. Want to be professionally published author, but it's only a hobby or a side business. That is same for me because I have too many performance ideas as well for shows and songs and shit like that. I'm notoriously bad at sticking to one hobby. But at the same time, want to have the stories that are in the format of novels of like
what did I miss?
Be able to be read by people and be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not asleep, but he's in bed.
Too many ideas, too little time.
We get there. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, this has like got maybe $1.50 on it for me. So what do traditionally published authors get?
Well, back in the day, we were told that it was around about $1, $1.50, if that.
But I had to raise this above what I actually was comfortable doing.
Yeah, but this is what I find interesting, because with traditional publishers, the author was usually the last to get paid, and they were getting the less amount of money out of a copy.
Yeah. Now, in saying that, I did go for the premium version. I've gone for the digital cloth cover. I don't like the feel of this. I really don't. It is slimy. It is horrible. But it looks good.
It does. It looks great.
I really wish that had been silver, though. I really wish I'd been able to get the wording silver. But,
yep.
No, it's good quality. It is a really good quality print. Now, I picked groundwood paper rather than cream paper. So it's a bit thinner. But, yeah, I'm really impressed with the quality. I just don't like the feel of that one. Just don't like it. Which is a shame. But when I do the digitally signed version that will be available on my website, the company I am planning on using has actual cloth paper.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure I can get it embossed too.
Lovely.
But I'll be doing that after I finish Vendetta edits.
I love seeing those like
Looks to me.
publishing houses that specialize
So
in the like small, really small scale, really artistic print runs of books, and they're starting to branch out to indie publishing as well.
yeah, someone announced that. I was watching Daniel Green's industry news the other day, and one of the companies I think I mentioned it in our chaos chat, is one of the companies he knows of has actually announced that they're setting up a small press to specifically work with self-published authors to get things printed in a nice edition. But it's still going to be. Yeah. So yeah. So anyone watching in the chat got any questions about the book, the process, whether or not Mel wants to murder me by sending her another book?
I'm ready. Come at me.
Oh dear. I've actually made my life really difficult for myself because I've decided I'm going to limit Vendetta to 3 points of view only. So I've got I think there's about 5 chapters I have to completely rewrite from a different point of view. But I think it'll work. I think it'll work so much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
want a very fast example of irony?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about how my internet has been surprisingly good today, considering the speed test yesterday. So I decided to do a speed test to check the test, and it's about 5 megabits per second tonight. But ever since I did the speed test, the internet started going.
Thanks for swinging by, Sage. Love to see you. Future plans. Vendetta. Vendetta. I'm doing what I call draft 5 now, which is the draft I do pretty much after workshopping. Although Vendetta's been workshopped about 5 times over the years, so
yeah, about that
gray area. At the moment, the big question is the ending. It's just where I'm going to physically end the book, because there's 2 really good spots I can pick. And if I pick one, it gives me a really good action sequence at the start of book 2. But if I have that big action sequence at the end of book 1, it gives it more of a satisfying ending. So I'm playing at the moment. But it's not going to be a trilogy. It's going to be like a 5, 7, 10 book series. I don't know. I'm going to see how far it goes. I don't know at this point.
Yeah.
But that's just
fully embrace the Pulp Fiction vibes.
Yeah. That one, they are not going to be standalone. Where Descent is standalone, you can read it or not read it. Vendetta, Elixir, Tombs, that run, I'll have them numbered because they're going to be, you have to read one before the other. Otherwise, they're not going to make sense. Well, Vendetta is, hopefully, I shall be getting a contract from my editor by the end of October with a final word count, and we are hoping to have everything finished by about May next year.
Yeah, so we're aiming for
mid-May.
Yeah, because that's the 2 rounds of editing.
Yeah, the two rounds, and the copy.
Yeah.
But I want to do and then I'll do the audiobook in May to June, and then I can spit it back to you to do the US conversion. We're discussing this now, guys.
We are. We're in the process of discussing it, working out timelines and schedules. But that's what we're aiming for.
Yeah. And it's which will mean I want to get it up on NetGalley for 3 months, which means that I can use an ebook as opposed to the audiobook.
Mm.
And that gives me time to do the audiobook whilst the ebook's up on NetGalley. So the reason I did the audiobook in such a rush this time around was because I wanted to have something up on NetGalley, and the only 1 month option you have through the Independent Publishers Association is an audiobook. So that's why I had to do the audiobook so quickly. I am still thinking I'm probably going to re-record at least a couple of chapters of Descent just to fix them up, because I do know some of them are a bit rough around the edges. I had to talk very calmly, or I was going to every 5 seconds. So, you know.
I was going to ask, how did you find the process of recording an audiobook?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did a flat record. I did a very straight read. And some people will say that is boring because they like when the narrator does all the different voices and that sort of stuff. But I didn't think that my voice acting skills was up to that. So I figured I might as well just make it a flat read, have the content out there for, it's very outside comfort zones, very outside my comfort zone. I still haven't let my husband listen to it. Because it's so straight. I am more self-conscious about people not liking my voice than the story. You know, and I'm like, it shouldn't matter as long as the story's, it's for accessibility's sake. There are people that cannot physically read. So to have an audiobook for accessibility is the whole point of it. It shouldn't matter how shit my voice is, but I'm so self-conscious about my voice. Building my own audio station was fun. It sits here. It's this huge frame, pipe frame. I've got a video on my channel, guys. And I've just got I've got to do some work on it. It does need a little bit of adjusting, but it worked good because when I was running it through the ACX checks I have on the program I used was Audacity, which is a free one. The check I downloaded and used a couple of times said, this is too quiet. Like, as in the background noise was so quiet, it felt like it was a dead room. So I actually had to re-record a few bits because it was actually didn't have enough noise in the background.
Yeah.
And then there were days when I'm sitting here, I've got 2 hours to record before I have to go pick the kids up from care, and I have trucks screaming down my driveway, just screaming down my road. So
yeah. Well, with you mentioning earlier that because you've got them as first editions, and with you saying that you lay down the track, there are things that you'd want to fix and change. Would you then also redo the audio, or would you?
Yeah, I'm actually, well, I do actually want to re-record some aspects of the audio when I do Vendetta's audio next year. Just simply because, well, hopefully I won't come down with another fucking bout of laryngitis like I had. But if I do know there are some chapters that are just a bit rough around the edges, and hey, ACX accepted it, so it can't be that bad. But I'm not happy with it. If that makes sense. You know, I think I can make a better job of it, and I might not do it. It depends. It comes down to timing. It comes down to effort, and it's, you know, so. And Stig, I saw that comment. I'll get to you in a minute, Stig. But yeah, it's I like I listen to Becca's Geraldine's Alley. I listen to her audiobook. I like it when the author reads their book. I'm not a huge fan. Look, I know some people just like, no, I can't do it. I'll get a narrator to do it. But I like it because I think the author knows where to, like, they might not be the expert at it, but they know what they want to get across on their story. So I like it. I love hearing the author. It's like, I love it when Neil Gaiman does his stuff and things like that. You know, but
he is a very good reader as well.
Yes.
And Stig, the problem is both are cliffhangers, but one's a little bit more satisfying than the other. But they're both cliffhangers. And we, because it's a team effort. Interesting, but interesting. Okay, did you do it in Australian? I speak two languages, English and bad English, and I'm better at the second one. So you want to bet it's in fucking Australian.
Yeah.
And see, drop the G. I dropped the G. Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
I did a Nina. Yeah.
I'm going to have to get going, guys, but it was so lovely to meet you all. And congratulations again, Renee.
Thank you. Now, and before she goes, any quick questions for an editor whilst she's here? Give it a
I'm going to make my mind blank.
That's okay. No, all good.
Would you do it again, Mel?
Sorry?
Would you do it again? The pain
Absolutely. In a heartbeat.
Yes.
Definitely. Like I said, this is what I love. I love being an editor to upcoming emerging writers. I love it.
Because, and the one thing Mel is fantastic at is spelling it out, is saying, look, this is what I'm going to do, you know, and like obviously the first edit is just chunks of this don't make sense. I thought you said this back here. Where did this come from? You know, but she spells it out, and she's actually very kind about being ruthless.
Yeah, I think this is where too editors can really get a bad name for themselves, because I know a lot of them, it's almost, and I've experienced this with my own writing. I'm an author as well, and that is that you do unfortunately come across authors that want to turn your story into their story, and that's not what an editor's meant to be doing. They're meant to help you with your voice, with your writer's voice, and that's what they're meant to do. They're meant to guide you, and yes, let you know what's working, what's not working, you know, where there could be a part of the story where as a reader it's, oh, I'd love to know more about that, and you've only mentioned one sentence about it. You know, so it's and I think too, being a writer myself, I know what it's like to get your work back and it's torn to shreds, and it's devastating.
Although I am used to having my work torn to shreds because of the workshopping, but
yes, yeah. Well, how long have we known each other? What, 18 years?
Yeah, getting close to 20 years. Yeah. I finished the professional writing and editing diploma in 2002.
Yep, and then I met you when you came back.
Yeah, which was 2004, I think, when I did a couple of classes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. It's 18 years. Yeah. But also too, when it comes to our workshopping group, it's the same people that have been there from the beginning. Yeah.
We have had a couple of people come in and a couple of people leave, but the core group has been the same the entire time. We are not afraid of feedback that we're not worried about hurting the person's feelings by giving not harsh, but direct feedback.
But it's more too because we know that person can do better. We've read better. We've seen it. So, and yeah, I don't think it's particularly harsh. It's more, and even as an editor, we're looking at it from the point of view of, if I was someone reading this, if you'd already published it and was a reader, you know, what would they be responding to? What would, you know, but, yeah, so
don't worry. I still think Mel was being far too kind to me during the edits.
Oh God. No, I think there were, well, for example, if you'd repeated a word multiple times in a single paragraph, instead of just putting that in, I just highlight the word so that visually you can see how many times it appeared, and then I'd have a comment that's like, I'll just leave you with that.
Synonyms, right click synonyms. Oh, no. I think through the
I
entire
do that
book,
to myself.
yeah. I think though through the entire book, there's only 2 sentences where I refused to change something.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was because what I was saying is kind of an Easter egg for further down the track.
Yeah, that's
And,
right.
And because
That's
you
right.
said, I think you said at one point, I don't understand why you've done this, and I gave you that full-on description about what is going to happen. You know, and you're like, oh, that's why we keep that.
Yeah, like, okay, that makes sense now. All right, yep, yeah. But really, too, I mean, unless it's something that's grammatically incorrect, where there's a typo, where your tense has changed, anything else that comes up is usually a suggestion.
Smirking.
Yeah. But even with you know, with
I found one.
Scenes, yeah,
I found a smirk. I missed getting rid of the smirk. That's all right. I can handle 1 or 2. But when my draft first went to Mel, I think every second sentence someone smirked.
Yeah, there was and chuckled as well.
Because I use them. I use them to just get it down, and then I'm like, oh yeah, laugh, giggle.
Yeah, laugh. Yeah, that's right. I think it started off where it was always laugh, and I'm like, but what kind of laugh are we talking about? You know, and then it was, you know, and then you'd put soft laugh or low laugh, and then the highlighter was coming out.
There's still a few of them in there.
That's right. Yeah, you don't get rid of all of them, but it's like I've just read a whole page where Nina has softly laughed
every time,
a dozen times, you know.
And that's actually the thing, though, is that's one thing, because I think it was like when the second edit came back, I realized that when I was doing the original edit, I was changing based on suggestions, but I wasn't actually going back and rereading the whole paragraph as one. I was reading them very individually. So it really does help to have that second edit, because
but also too, as the author, because you keep your creative license with your book, unlike with traditional publishing. So, you know, you've got that option, but I'll always put a reason why too, whether it was, I'm trying to visualize this action scene, and now I'm picturing like Eric's leg is through the ceiling. I don't think that's what you meant. Where is he? You know, or there was one with, there was one where I was like, I'm like, hang on, how short is she? How is she propped up on? I'm like, this changes the whole visual of how I was thinking about this character. But but it's funny though reading those things, because as the author, you've got it all in here, and you think what you're putting there is all come out. But so I've had some very funny visuals as I've read those drafts. It's
the one thing I will never forget, and this harks back to the workshopping, is watching one of our workshop co-writers start reenacting the scene to make sure she's got it right in her head when it's a sex scene.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. I was like, the amount of sex scenes I've read that are like on AO3 and fanfic and shit, where they've started out and then halfway through they're doing something. And I'm like, wait, I thought they were like completely the other way around, like in a completely different position. How are they reaching that when they were doing this?
Where did that fifth limb come from? Like,
like what position are they in to be able to do this?
Hang on. Is he down there or up there?
Yeah. Is she on her back or is she?
Yeah, which way are they facing?
Yeah. And that's how it happened in workshopping, because it was like, I think we need a demonstration to see how. So it was like a very bad game of Twister at one point.
Oh, classic! It works though. It really does work. Oh god.
But thank you for having me, and congratulations again on the launch. I'm so proud of you, and it was lovely meeting you guys. I will be hovering around Renee's social media. So if you ever have a question or you want to reach out, just send me a message.
Know where to find
And
a
with the
great
way
editor.
the Australian dollar is, Mel is very cost effective for an editor. Just putting
Thank
that out
you.
there, people.
That's right. It's
Get that international conversion rate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, but no, so yeah, if you guys do have any questions, my business is Pen to Print. I do have a Facebook page, which is Pen to Print Australia, because there is an American company too, so I had to separate those.
I will when I get around to it, I'll link your Instagram down below.
Yeah, no, sounds good. So yeah, if you've got any questions, anything like that, more than happy to answer them. So yeah, but no, enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you.
I think I've got someone hovering in the hallway at the moment.
I'll leave you with that. Bye.
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 There we go. I was glad she could join. Because this is
Oh,
much
man,
this is as much her
needs
work
to
as
be
mine.
like a new thing. It's not even new, but like you could turn that into like some sort of really funny video tag meme challenge.
Acting
Problem solved.
Hey,
some sort
look,
of action
it
scheme
works
by
though, because when you sit there and think critically, so hey Kate, where is she? What is she doing? How does that fit body wise?
Fit there? That's a classic conundrum of fanfic. Oh dear.
Oh dear. So is there anything people want to know about the book itself? No, I'm not doing a reading.
How many graphic sort of design elements have you included in?
Oh, in the book?
Mm.
There's 21 or 22 chapters. I can't even remember now. 22. So when it comes to each chapter heading, everyone is an individual card. And so there's 21 individual cards, and then the last chapter is just that. Because
nice.
This last chapter is more epilogue anyway. So, but those cards are. I should pull them out actually. A poker deck.
Why is it I have more caffeine and suddenly now I'm getting sleepy?
Okay. So the cards that are shown in the book are the Ace, Queen, King, Jack, and Joker equivalent. But I created a deck of cards. Did you
I think do them all yourself? Like
yes.
the drawing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Pixel Bay is your friend because Pixel Bay is free for commercial use. You've got to be careful. You've got to double check. It's got to be listed as for commercial use. And then when you're definitely looking at sci-fi elements, you've got to make sure those ships are not from something like Star Trek.
Oh, or Star Wars.
Or
Disney
Star Wars. Or computer games. You've got to be really careful. But I use a lot of Pixel Bay images. But I bought the actual image. Like this is the Ace of Spades, diamonds, hearts. What's the last one?
Clubs.
Clubs. Thank you. On Creative Market, I
Mhm.
paid for the license to use a particular set of images. So I didn't make it 100% myself, but I've taken elements from different places and I've merged them together to create it, if that makes sense. So for instance, that is actually 2 images put together, not a bought image. And okay, but caffeine makes you sleepy when you have ADHD, yes.
I don't think it. So here's the thing: the stimulant element of it helps you focus better because of the way that your brain is wired. And so I think the effect that neurotypical brains get is like the buzz from it, whereas we get the focus and the functionality from it. And so when we're actually really tired, because in the mornings it does wake me up, but when I'm really tired, it helps your brain like chill
It helps the
out
brain.
and focus, but the thing it's focusing on is sleep. So it has the opposite effect. That's my working theory anyway, because it's not consistent for me.
Yes. So actually, what I'll do though is with the pre-order competition or raffle, I had 2 entries. So I'm just going to send both those entrants a prize.
Lucky winners.
Yes, because
I
it's
meant
just
to enter it. I completely forgot.
I thought you had.
I keep being like, oh shit, I gotta jump on Amazon and order that. And then I'm like, I'll do it later. I gotta sort out which account I'm buying through because I know Dad has free shipping on his, and there's a whole lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah. So now I thought about it and I went, nah, bugger it. There's only 2 entrants. Like I had more
yeah.
entrants for the Where Is Baba, but I sold more books. It is so. Also, too, though, it's partly my fault because I didn't advertise the competition on Instagram because a lot of companies that I've been following, particularly yarn companies, small, yeah, do it later.
Precisely.
Small, like independent, like dyers. They've been running competitions and they've been getting dummy accounts, trying to get people's details. I didn't want that to happen, so I kept it very low key. Like it was quite literally, if you've pre-ordered it, go have a look at my profile, because I obviously had the link to the pre-order competition video in the profile, because I didn't want the bots to tag competition or raffle or anything like that.
What you can do as another promo thing is do a
Good luck,
newsletter
Steve.
sign up giveaway.
Good luck.
Wait, where is it? Sunny, this is what I do. So happy here. Whoa! Productive era. I don't want to bust. I don't want to dash
Bust
your
the
hopes
bubble.
or burst the myth. But that's not exactly what I would call it. I would well, maybe it's just a me problem. And that's fair. I have a lot of problems. But the problem I have is like the increase in focus does not come with an increase in ability to decide
Motivation.
what the most important priority is. So I end up playing Minecraft for 10 hours instead of doing my accounting.
I also wouldn't call that ADHD. I would just call that pure stress procrastination.
Yeah.
Because you're stressed about getting things done. So, of course, what you procrastinate about it. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not because of ADHD. It's just, I'm going to avoid that.
I would say I would say that the issue for me is a lack of external accountability systems in place at the moment. So I'm not only having to try and regulate focus priorities, I'm able to regulate focus but not priorities, which is where I fuck up. And because I haven't put in place enough systems of external accountability, the priorities is fuck all.
Yeah.
So I just end up not doing much. Anyway, I do need to send an invoice tomorrow for all the work I did this week, though.
Oh, very
So,
proud of you.
yeah.
Mm.
I got a 4-hour shift that turned into 3 shifts that totaled about 11 hours. No. Yes, 11?
That's
11.
good. So you've hit your goal
Yeah.
for October already then? Financial goal?
Not quite. Because I can't remember what my official goal is, but
You're certainly a good way onto it, though.
I'm doing better than I was expecting because of this one gig. And now that I'm on their radar,
That'll just be a cool.
if they have more stuff around the area, I might get more. So fingers crossed.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right, Stig. I'm happy for us to ramble. Mel's awesome. Now, as you can also tell, we're good friends. And she has seen my writing at its worst. So I wasn't ashamed to give her the manuscript. Does that make sense? Like, or was it? I was nervous about giving her the manuscript, but I wasn't.
She knew what to expect.
Yeah, I knew she knew what to expect, and I knew that I wasn't giving her a dumpster fire. Like, I knew it had been cleaned up quite a lot to begin with. Now, in saying that, I think Vendetta is a shit ton cleaner already. In this, like, I'm up to about chapter 7, going through for the final redrafting. But that's it. You learn as you go. So, but no, she's really good. She's always very clear. Now she did have a few health issues, but she always communicated really well with me that, look, I can't get it to you this week because I've been unwell or whatever. Which is what, yeah. And partly my fault because I left it so late to give it to her. We were on a bit of a time crunch to get it done, which is why I'm trying to get Vendetta done so quickly now, because I want to have that extra time to read through the manuscript. Like, I've reread Descent. When was it? I originally said, when we did the US conversion, I originally said to Mel, don't convert all the single quotation marks to double quotation marks. They're consistent. It doesn't matter. And then I was watching a booktuber review on a different book, and he was talking about a book that didn't have consistency. So he was talking about a book that had some single, some double quotations doing the same thing. And he was rambling on about how this book didn't get edited properly. But then he mentioned the fact that, yes, in some countries, people do use single quotation marks. We don't because we're American. And I just thought to myself, no, I need to do this. So a week before the book went live, I went through and I made the US edition all double quotation marks. And when I was rereading through it doing that, I did find a few things and I'm like, oof. I already now know 3-4 months after writing, doing the final edit, I knew I could have made that sentence better. But I'm just like, I'm not doing it. I'm not touching it anymore.
But you're past the point.
Yeah. Mark, go to bed. If you go back and change one thing during the process of releasing this, what would you change? I would give myself more time. I would honestly give myself more time. I would give myself more time between editing and getting it out. Because what I'm trying to do with Vendetta, and this is what we've learned, I still am on a bit of a time crunch because I want that 3 months on NetGalley. But what we're trying to do is get all the editing done. Then I've got a month to do all the formatting and get everything up for pre-sale, and then it goes to NetGalley. So I'm trying to do it, and then I'm hoping the next book I can give myself 6 months before to set up pre-sales and NetGalley and things like that. I'm trying to scrape back time. I want it released in September next year, if you haven't figured out the math. I want to do it. I actually want to release it on the 15th of September next year, and there's a reason behind that. But that's the date I want to release it. So I'm working everything. If it doesn't work, I'll just release it later. But I kind of need to release it next year because I kind of put in here coming in 2023. I kind of committed in writing, so yeah, coming soon in 2023. So I do have to release it next year, but yeah. To be honest though, Vendetta's the one I've been working on like all these years. That's the one, like that's like the first novel. Descent is more my second novel that I've released first, so it's got second novel problems.
Sting, I have diagnosed ADHD. I didn't even realize there was math. Because I wasn't paying enough attention.
Okay, so what have we got? With Mel. If you go back, change one thing,
That
yeah,
was
more
one we had
time.
before.
What are you most proud of
during the process?
Doing it. At any time, I could have just said, I'm not doing this. And I did it. I mean, it certainly would be easier on the bank account if I just went back to work full time. Job, yeah, I know. Well, see, it wasn't on my radar because I just assumed people in the US would go, oh, yeah, cool, that's all consistent. Who gives a shit? And then I went, when he said that, I went, I think I'm going to have to do this. It was really easy. It was find and replace individual, like find next. Oh, no, that is not quotation marks. We will not be changing that one. So, yeah. It took me about 4 to 6 hours to do it. I did it on 2 nights and I was really tired. Like I was coming home from work, getting the kids to bed and just sitting here for about 3 hours and just going, find next, nope, find next, replace, find next, replace, find next, nope, find next, nope. So
the glamorous life of being an author.
It's so glamorous. But it also comes down to what you want. Like I wanted to get it out. I wanted to get it published, so I did it.
Well, exactly. And that's like the conundrum when you have multiple things you got to juggle. Like for you, it's kids and work and everything. For me, it's like, do I do a show or do I do the book or do I play Minecraft all day? Which I could probably cut out one of those.
I told you
do the other two.
Delete Minecraft.
That comes down to just my own internal regulation. I think the appeal of Minecraft at the moment is because it is so explicitly not a career thing.
Yeah,
that it's
just
one of
fun.
the only artistic, like, fun things that I can do that is actually giving myself a break. Whereas I've just been trying to do too many things.
There's a reason I've got knitting everywhere in this house.
Cut out the book as well. Which one? I've got too many.
Yeah. Look, and that's something also too, is like I was actually talking to my mum about it the other day because she's like, oh, you know, because all these years you always go back to writing, you know, you try this, you try that, you try this, you try that. And like, because I ran a jewelry business for about 7 years. And I was literally said to her, yeah, I shouldn't have turned that into a business. That should have just stayed a hobby. You know, I should have just left my jewelry making as a hobby because it wasn't what I wanted to do. Writing, I've always wanted to do right. I always wanted to be an author. I've always wanted to publish my books. I've always wanted to publish independently, which is interesting because even when I was a teenager, it was really hard in Australia to get fantasy and science fiction published. It was really hard. Like these were the era of the Sarah Douglases and the what else? Who else is out there? And yeah, so it's sort of it's interesting. Like one of the girls at work asked me the other day, said, "Oh, if it blows up and you got the option to go trad pub, would you?" And I went, "No, why would I?"
No, at that point you just hire your own little sort of team to do all
you do
the
a Brandon
things
Sanderson.
Would do. Yeah.
You do a Brandon Sanderson. You expand your business, and I think that's the difference. Is I'm looking at it also too because I've done the jewelry business, because I've done the craft businesses in the past. That side of things, like the writing is pure fun. I love it. Editing, I enjoy editing. I'm a polisher. I don't pants. I don't plot. I polish. And yes, and there's so many things that could be said there. But I'm always going to write regardless. The publishing side is the business. Does that make sense? Like, I'm always going to write, like whether I publish it or not, I'm going to write. But
yeah,
the business part is you put on your little adult business hat, and you do the shit stuff. You do the admin. You do the admin, Shah.
yeah. I hate admin. It's hard. Also, Stig, if you want to like do a server, I'm down. I tried to make one and then forgot that I made it. But I can try and make a proper proper one. Are you on Java or Bedrock? Please say Java because it makes my life so much easier.
Can I also just say delete Minecraft?
Mm-hmm. I have too many worlds because I get bored in one and then go to another one. When really what I need is to have like a server so that I'm not bored as much. So that there's other stuff to do because you can interact and do stuff with people. Because when you're just going by yourself, it sort of you do all the exploring and then you want to do like a project, but it's like, why am I doing a project? I can't really do anything with it other than there's not much point.
See, I'm a Baldur's Gate player, so but I used to play Baldur's Gate as the evil character, so yeah. So I had the holy knights of whatever chasing my ass around the countryside. Yeah.
Yes. I've been bugging my brother to start another server because he's got a computer that's actually set up to host properly because it's always on, and so he can just leave it live all the time. And he hasn't set up because he had an old one like about a year or two ago, and he's been running servers for the last decade, but he hasn't had time to set up a new one because kids and everything. But I wanted him to set up a new one with the latest update. And maybe now that I'm just around the corner from him for the next month, I'll just have to bug him to set it up. Because then it can actually be hosted pretty, like better than the free hosting ones that you have to physically log in and turn them on when you want to play. It can just be going all the time. It makes it easy. More accessible.
Okay, well, we might start winding it down. Any other questions?
Have
you actually read it yet, Shah?
No.
Hey, it's on Audible.
I still have it bookmarked. I don't know if it's the most up-to-date edit. I still have it bookmarked. Did I read any of it? I feel like I read a bit of it.
I think you have, because I did share pre-edited version, I think.
So I think what happened was you sent it to us, and then you said, I'm going to read a bit of it, and then you said, wait, don't read it just yet. I've got to change a couple of things, and I'll send it to you again. And then you sent it to us again, and then I didn't get around to reading the second one. Because, I've actually got Mel's site bookmarks, though.
Stig, maybe try your local bookstore, like there's Booktopia. In Australia here we've got Angus and Robinson, and we've got Dimmicks. They're all listed up there. That's if you want the grey cover.
Also, if you go to your local library and request they buy a copy through Ingram Spark.
Yeah, because I'm encouraging people not to use Amazon if they can. Waterstones has it. Barnes and Noble has it. Yeah.
I swore I had Descent bookmarked. Maybe it's just in.
I think I've taken it down. I think I took that one out of the.
But it should still be in my bookmarks.
Oh yeah.
Even if the link is broken. Or maybe it was that I actually saw it was in my bookmarks, clicked on it, saw that it was broken, and then deleted it.
Possibly.
I have a vague recollection that might have happened, so I think that might be the case.
Oh, Steve, you live in the sticks. Wait, Charlotte Link, the Australian. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If you go to your Amazon and just do a search for Descent, r.a.house, it should pop up.
If you just even search on Google r.a.house, Amazon author page or something like that.
Yeah,
that's what I put in Google, and it came straight up.
But if you go to the Amazon author page, I think you can tell it to go to your Amazon. Like, yeah. Let's see what happens if I do Descent.
Ship to your village. Oh dear, the modern world. Wait, I was gonna stick this in as well.
It's on Scribd.
That is the wrong link. I didn't actually copy the link.
You can also get it on Scribd.
And Audible. This is what I was gonna link. Red cover, but not the grey one.
Thank you. Yeah, she has to. Her business name is Pen to Print, but when it comes to socials and internet, she has to specify Australia because apparently there's a Pen to Print in the US as well.
Well, she's .com.au on her website, so
yeah,
that is the specification.
And she's awesome. And my goal in life is to get her enough clients that she can tell her job to GGF. Because she's an awesome editor and she deserves to be able to make a living from her business. No, she's a good person. No, she's a genuine good soul. Yay! I hope you enjoy it, Steve. I do.
I mean,
which one did you get? Did you get the red cover?
I wouldn't mind.
The grey cover. Which one did you get?
Red cover, I think you said. Couldn't get the grey one.
That is so strange. The grey one's been available for pre-order for over a month. How can it not be available? This what interests me. Is what part of Amazon?
Genuine chaotic soul.
Stig. We've burnt you, haven't we, Stig? We are not normal Australians. We're internet savvy Australians. Trust me, there's worse ones out there.
Oh man. Yeah, where the
Yeah, don't worry, Stig. I don't do ebooks either. Do you know how many ebooks I own and I've never read?
Oh, same. Yeah. From every promotion where they're giving them away for free. I just haven't read them.
I've only ever read one run ebook completely. And that was because I sat there on my phone and I read it overnight when I couldn't sleep. And that was 100,000 Kingdoms. 100,000 Kingdoms. It's the only book I've ever read.
What's really weird is I can read like a 60k fanfic on my phone, but if I try and do it with an ebook, I just can't.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. I think part of it is that my brain thinks I'm reading a fanfic, and it just completely ruins the story for me.
Well, what I'm also thinking of doing is because I've got my tablet, I'm thinking of loading that with a few programs, like obviously Kindle, maybe there's one of the graphic comic ones and stuff, and seeing, because it's a bigger screen, seeing if I can actually read on that. But it's still got the glow. It's not an e-ink or anything, so yeah.
Yeah, I've just been like trying to read physical again lately, and just
me too. Yeah. I'm also too. It's better for my eyes. It is much better for my eyes.
Well, I've got I put down the book that we meant to do for book club 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't picked it back up. And like Emmy's has been sending me. I've bought a heap of physical books, and I just haven't.
I'm about that far through. I'm about that far. I've read this book before, people, and I'm still only that far through.
I haven't even started.
But I've been tabbing. I'm
I love
trying to do tabbing.
I love physical books. I just don't fucking read them.
I did get
I used to.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what though, Stig? That line taken out of context could mean a lot.
Oh yeah. We all love physical.
Yeah, I look ebooks, yeah. But yeah, so I'm like my problem is when do I sit down and read? It's not that I can't read, like it's when do I do it? There's for instance, when we cock off now, when I go have my shower and crawl into bed and in my brain I'm like, maybe I should read for half an hour just to like get off the screen sort of idea. There's a toddler currently asleep in my bed. So how do I read and not wake him up?
Yeah.
You know.
Mind you, I got a book light. I can't remember if it was for my birthday or Christmas or whatever. I got a book light and I took it with me when we went to the snow. And you would not believe how much entertainment you can get with a toddler with one book light.
Oh God, tell me about it. I don't even know where my book light is.
Well, I'm using mine as a bookmark because it's one of those ones that goes over, like, sits on the page.
Mine's the clip. And I don't like it because it obviously ruins the book. I do have to. I bought it because of that exact issue. Like I thought, well, at least I could like read in bed whilst he's asleep. No, Mike read too. Nick snuggles in next to me. I will finish it. Well, so I do like audiobooks, and that's why I was so insistent on getting an audiobook out, even though I couldn't afford to get it like professionally narrated or anything like that. Or professionally edited, so at least like I do the speaking and someone else fixes it up or whatever. Because I do like I will listen to an audiobook driving.
Yeah.
When I can afford petrol for my car. But yeah. But yeah. Oh, let's not go there. That's another rant.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh my God, my bookmark is a €5 note. Well, my bookmark in here at the moment is a dog ear and tabs and a pen. Oh, you can't use no. Oh, that's gold. That is gold. I like that.
That's good.
Makes you feel rich with something you can't actually spend. Oh, Owen. I'm being told it's bedtime, I think. Yeah.
I don't know how I'm still awake after doing 2 like physical labor shifts and only 4 hours sleep.
Stig, this thing gets shoved in my bag for work every day. It's had my baby drop it and the cover shit. Like Emmy messaged us and said, "Hey, can you guys take like a good photo of your physical copy?" And I'm like, literally, Morgan dropped it yesterday. You know,
I
literally dropped it.
I meant to do that and I forgot. Because mine's still pretty good.
It's no. It is called Well Worn, Well Loved.
It's called Well Loved, yeah.
Well, I used to be that person. I used to be the don't crack the spines, don't harm it, don't damage the book. Now I'm just like, nah. I'm gonna write in it. I'm gonna tab it. I'm gonna dog ear it. I'm gonna write the thoughts in the side. I love annotated books. I love it when you get a second-hand book and it's got someone else's annotations in it. I think that is, I really do like that.
Particularly when it's only a couple of words and you don't have the context.
Yeah.
Then it's just really funny.
Yeah.
Mind you, it kind of is like the equivalent of my mum watching TV when there's literally no one else around and just commentating through the TV. She did the other night. It was really funny. I'm just sitting in my room and I just hear a reply to something the guy said on TV. And it's like, well, that's stupid. I'm just like, oh dear. Oh dear. Because all of her ones have not like the Kindle print thing.
Yeah, she still has the proofs. Like she only had the proofs. At the time. I don't know if she does now, but at the time she didn't have an author copy.
She hadn't bought one of the ones without the proof thing on it.
This stupid thing. I am so annoyed at that. Like, I could have had like 10 of these printed, like pre-printed to sell or whatever. No, you can't do that. You're not allowed.
Stupid. Oh man, I gotta finish my damn books.
You've reminded me I've got to get stuff ready for work tomorrow, so I'm just going to put that over there. Do I not take my laptop tomorrow? I really should.
I don't know.
I'm trying to get. The problem is it's just not stable. So, and by stable I mean last time I took it out of the house and took it off the internet, it had that error in the kernel where the entire hard drive filled up, and I had to completely wipe my computer and start from scratch.
Suey!
Hey, Suey!
Also, no, I have not cleaned my room. This is not my house, which is why it is so neat and lovely.
It is a very nice backdrop, I must say.
Yeah, since I turned around, I only just realized this because before I was facing the wall over here.
So I know you purchased a copy. So which version did you purchase?
I was saying the exact same thing a second ago.
Yes. I want to write. I want to get Vendetta done because I want to hand it to Mel, and I want to get it to Mel.
Oh yes, doesn't have daylight time.
You guys have a public holiday tomorrow, don't you?
Hey Raz, do you want to come say hello?
The grey one, but which version of the grey one, honey? Did you get the paperback, the hardback, the large print, or the ebook? I'm just curious. I'm just curious because I've sold something like 12 of the large print, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty good. So the large print, and this is for people. The large print doesn't actually have the artwork in it, obviously. I'm sorry, my child just decided to start screaming in a sec. And it's a much like kind of font. No wonder the medieval people thought their kids were like changelings. I thought it was Labor Day.
It's Labor Day in some states. It's Queen's birthday in others, and it's Cat's Day in this particular state that I'm currently in. And Raz is trying to like eat my dirty tissue. She's just ran away with it.
I just found a typo.
No, don't eat my nose blows.
It's only the large print edition that's got it.
Yeah.
Bugger. I'm gonna have to get that fixed. I'll fix it tomorrow.
Oh, sweetie. She's still getting used to her normal housemate not being here. But she's been very affectionate today. She really wants this tissue. I don't know why. It must smell good.
Oh, cool. That's all right, sir. I was just curious because, yeah. It's actually, one thing is I actually don't know what my ebook sales look like because the reporting is so delayed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Why is she so obsessed with this tissue? I don't understand. What does it smell like, eh? Oh. What does it smell like, Razzle Dazzle? He sheds so much.
Oh yeah, he's a rag doll.
Yeah. No. Shit, did you just open
Thanks
your
for
mouth?
joining, Stig.
Open your mouth. Spit it
And
out.
thank you for the purchase. Please come again.
Or was there only two? I think there
That was my little siren. She's my little siren.
girl. She just tried to eat one of my mini hair ties. And I was like, no. That is even worse than tissue.
Yeah. Morgan's going through a developmental phase. She does the screaming in her sleep at the moment.
Hmm.
Yes.
Maybe it smells like salami. They did have a salami sandwich earlier, so maybe that's somehow on tissue. Oh, she's like a cutie. She's a very, very cute. She's just lovely actual food.
We are currently at that point of the night where we're starting to ramble, so we apologize for that. I must admit, I'm getting very tired. I just want to check this. I think I may have
the zombie queen birthday. Bye, Stig. Guessing it's already gone.
Yeah.
I was very distracted by cat.
Yeah. Damn it! It's got a typo in it.
What's got a typo in it?
The large print edition.
Oh no.
It's all right. It's an easy fix. It's just annoying. It's actually in the terms of time. I don't know what's happened. Looks like. You know what? It looks like my cat's climbed across the keyboard at just the wrong time.
Oh, like this one just did?
Yeah. And I haven't noticed it. That's all right. This is the advantage to purchasing. This is the advantage to purchasing the independent publishing membership. I get 5 free uploads into into Ingram Spark every month. So I can fix it very easily.
It took me like an hour to find the brush because I forgot which shelf it was on from the previous sort of run around the house. And then I'd written it down, and on the bits that was written down, it just said on the top shelf. And there's so many shelves in this house. I've been find it for ages, and then I finally just spotted the handle on the top of the shelf out the back. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Raz, use the cat tree, not the chair, please. There's a cover on it, which has previously been clawed at, so I'm not too concerned, but still. Gotta break the habit, buddy. Hey, cutie. This cat, I swear to God, is trying so hard to tell me stuff.
Yeah.
That I wish I had one of those button boards that I could teach it to, like, press out words. Because she'll be meowing at me, and I'm trying to work out what it is exactly that she's trying to tell me. Winter. Hey?
Okay, I fixed it.
Like today when you wanted brushing and I couldn't find the brush.
Travesty.
You've been very happy ever since I found her, haven't you? No, don't bite my computer. I've seen the videos of what happens when cats do that, and I can't afford a new one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm at that point. I'm like, please buy my book. Please buy my book so I can afford a new laptop.
I think at the moment she's just sort of scratching herself on it, but she did go half towards biting it yesterday. No, it's just like, no, don't do that.
My naked girl.
Oh, I should take a video of this and send it through to Helen. Because I think she was really worried that, like, Raz would just, like, be running away and hiding the entire time.
Oh, jeez.
But, like, the first time I came over to meet the cat, I went in and sort of said hello, and she didn't run away. She let me pat her. And then the second time I got some purring and hanging out, and don't chew on my charger. I've only got one with me. Before the toddler came in. No, don't chew. And she hightailed it out of there, didn't you? Yeah, if the nephews come over tomorrow, you're going to be hiding.
That annoys me now, because I know 18 versions of that book have been sold with that bloody typo in it.
Oh, is it in, like, where is it? Is it in the cover?
It was in the Standards of Time that I've got at the start.
Oh.
That's okay. It's not part of the book. It's just
content, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like the so at the start of the book, because I don't explain, because the characters don't know any difference. It's hard to explain the time terms, like in the story. So what I did was I did like a little, like, 8 hours is a standard, 3 standards is a rotation, which is a day, and then a cycle is a month. So, yeah. But because I don't actually explain it in the book, I put like a little table in it, and I just had a typo in that. So it's okay. Hey, look, the beauty of being self-published, Suey, the beauty of being self-published is I can fix it. I just fixed it. I'm recording it now. I'm going to jump on Ingram before I go to bed. I'll re-upload it. It'll probably take them overnight to vet it. I'll double check it tomorrow and make it live again. It just means the large print edition's just going to go down and not be for sale for a couple of days. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Cats and keyboards.
And it's only in the large print edition, I think. Let me check the other ones.
Hope it's only in one.
Well, I think it's happened in formatting. So when I was formatting it, yeah, it's happened in formatting. So when I was formatting it, the cat's gone across the desk, or I've walked away and the cat or the child has touched the keyboard or something, and they've just put gobbledygook in there. Or my keyboard spacked it, because it can do that too. When it's low on battery power, it sometimes does weird things. So we're human. If someone wants to give me a 1-star because that, I'm gonna follow them. No. Yes. So I think after tonight, I am not doing anything more with Descent. Unless, of course, I find glaring obvious issues. I'm thinking about it. I'm playing around with the auto narrator in Google. I'm tempted to release an auto narrated version. So if someone really doesn't like my voice, they can have access to the auto narrated one in Google. I'm tempted, but I'd have to go and listen to the whole thing. Yeah, exactly, Sue. And it takes 2 days. It's fixed. 2-3 days. It'll be fixed. And the people that have ordered it and got it, they can turn around and say, "Oh, there's a typo," and I can say it's already fixed. You know, sorry. I do have no returns ticked.
Yes, that is important.
No, well, see, that's the thing with Ingram. You do have that thing where they do have that returns option, but I don't think I'm going to sell enough books to justify having that. Like, does that make sense? Like, it's a big risk that every book you sold gets returned, you know, sort of thing. Oh, Sue, yeah, it's started to go live. It's went live on Audible a couple of days ago. It's been live on Nook for a while. It's very, very slowly going out there. But what am I doing? But it wasn't available straight away. Like, it took a while, which is why I want to give myself that 3 months lead up, because I reckon I can get it all going, and yeah, with the next one. What am I doing? I'm going into
I love this meme because it's so true. But it's just...
I tell you what, though, Audible, if you look at Audible, it's $20. Like, if you're not buying the credit.
If you're not using the credit.
I've got it listed on Findaway Voices at $6.99. Like, I get $6.99, I think, when it sells. But that's like 4 times the price. I'm like, well, 3 times the price, actually. That makes sense. Yeah, markup. Yeah. But it is like an electronic.
That's a lot of markup, though. Like, you could just...
I've got no control.
Couldn't you just, like, put it on iTunes or something?
No, I got to go through Findaway, because a lot of those sites don't actually have accounts for people. Like, Audible does not have an account for someone outside of the US. So I have to go through Findaway. So I tell Findaway what to sell it at, but I think it's what it's like. They're not very clear. I'm sure if I sat there and I read through their terms and conditions, I'll figure it out. But it's not very clear, like when you're just looking at the site, how much money you're going to get. But I guess if they're selling it, if I'm selling it for $6.99 and they're selling it for $8.99, so they get their cut, 20 isn't that bad a markup for the end seller. So
still, like, you'd be better off to format it and sell it direct through your website if people are going to pay $20.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to eventually do. I've got to get BookFunnel working, and I'm going to do audio, ebook through BookFunnel on my website, and then but you have to have a BookFunnel app on your phone to read them. And I'm also going to have a drop shipping print on demand, a pod set up for a specific collector sort of author only, direct from author edition. But I'm not, that stuff I'm just going to slowly work on now. I've got the main thing out. This month is I'm working on the next book. I'm getting that to Mel, my editor, hopefully at the end of October. And then I'm going to finally be drafting again because I really want to keep working on that draft I started. I've written about 8,000 words of a new draft. And it's not the book I should be writing, but I don't care because I'm having fun. Because it's how two particular people meet, and it's effectively working out to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling in space with a heist.
So you're really ticking all those boxes for excellent TikTok marketing opportunities.
Well, is it a heist? Is it a heist when it's more like a Mission Impossible style mission. Like it's not technically a heist, it's a investigation, I guess.
A caper?
A caper, possibly, yeah. But think see, it's not even Mission Impossible because they're not burnt. So it's actual agents, like actual like secret agents doing. It's a Bond. It's a Bond thing. So what would that be? What is Bond? Bond's not a heist. Bond
is secret agent, spy.
It's spy. Yeah. So it's Beauty and the Beast with spies in space.
Yeah. So. Nice.
Yes. Sorry.
Raz actually used the scratching post and is now having a nice snooze in the cat bed that's on top of it. This really is her house.
I haven't put up the October one yet.
Oh my god. Talking of excellent TikTok marketing. You can use the audio, the international super spy. Super spy.
I'm leaving TikTok to the TikTok experts, guys. If you want to do a talk about my book, go for it. I don't get TikTok. I really don't.
I understand the theory. I just haven't mastered at all any side of the actual making and posting.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it because they haven't. The independent book publishers haven't given the code for October yet, and I don't want to bring the book down and then wait a week to get the code that I need to actually get it back up again. So I'm just gonna. I've got it fixed. It's ready to go. I must admit, I'm not even really a fan of watching them.
Of what?
Watching TikToks. I'm just not a fan.
Oh yeah, me either.
I can kind of get reels, but I'm still I think what annoys me is if I'm on stories on Instagram, I'm on stories. I want to watch stories from the I don't want to watch them pulling a TikTok and sharing it, and you only get the first 5 seconds of it, and you have to click on it to go into it to actually see what it is. I want that actually annoys me a little bit with the stories and everything when they shared and it only shows half of it, and you're like, well, this person shared it for a reason. I want to see what they're talking about. I don't want to have to click on it and go into it, and then it just keeps replaying and replaying and replaying and replaying. I'm just like, come on. No. Anyway, I think that's it. Thank you for joining. Anything you want to plug before we head off, Shara?
I mean, you can follow me on TikTok, but I don't know if I'll ever post anything else.
I've done one video on TikTok. I've done one.
Me
It's effectively a trailer.
It's not very good.
Yeah, my TikTok shit. Oh dear. Well, I would say buy my book, but the only person watching is Sui, and she already has. Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, Sui, with the raffle, I only got 2 entrants, so both those entrants are just going to be getting a prize pack from me. So I shall be emailing them in the next few days. And we've been going for 2 hours and 16 minutes. And I'm tired, and I have to go to work tomorrow. So we'll call it there. Thank you for joining. If you're watching this after the fact, thank you for getting this far for this chaotic session that we had. And if you bought a live
Book release, go buy it
next week. Hey. Traditional published books get printed with errors all the time. And they don't fix them.
You are nothing if not up to standard of TradPub.
Yes. It's all right. It's just my inner perfectionist. So on that note, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy the book if you read it. And we'll see you all soon.